Hi you guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm doing a fall inspired smoky eye kind of smoky look. I'm definitely ready for fall. I'm so tired of the heat. I'm tired of summer. I am so ready for pumpkin spice lattes and Ugg boots and to just be super basic, and I'm just ready for fall. I love fall. It's just my favorite season. So today I went in, and this is my second time using this. I've only used like 2 shades out of this before. This is the new Natasha Denona Sunrise palette, and this is what it looks like. It's beautiful. I will go ahead and insert swatches right now. If you want to take a look at those. So this one retails for $65, and you get 15 shades for $65. The pan sizes are smaller than the normal palettes. So here's her sunset palette, and I also have this one. I've only used this one like one time, I think. And the pan sizes on this one is a lot smaller. And this one you get 15 shades as well, but this is $129. So I really like how she came out with a smaller option, and it's only $65 instead of $129, because $129 is ridiculous. I actually was following a beauty group on Facebook, and somebody posted that these were on sale for $99. Also, the Lila palette was on sale for $99 as well at Sephora.com during that last sale for the Sephora appreciation sale. I'm not really sure which sale it was called, but I had 20% off since I was a Rouge member. So technically I got this for like 80 bucks, I want to say. And then I also did the 20% off on this one as well. So that's usually when I buy my bigger ticket items. There's like this whole rumor going around that the smaller pan sizes aren't as good quality as the bigger pan sizes, which I'm currently putting to the test, but I don't think that's true. I think these are wonderful quality. I didn't have any issues blending them out or anything like that. Seriously, they're really beautiful. I will say that when I did swatch, you know what, actually I didn't swatch. I used this shade previously. It's the shade Aster. So I did use that one previously, and it's more of a eyeshadow topper because it's not opaque purple like it looks like in the pan. It's just a very like iridescent, like, as you can see, it's like you have to catch the light right. So it's beautiful, but you have to put it underneath something that's like a deeper purple so that it shows up and pops. So I definitely think this one's worth the money. If you want to start out with something that's from Natasha Denona, definitely go for something like this, or her little minis that are like 5 eyeshadows for, what is it, like 25 bucks, I believe. And I have one of her minis somewhere floating around my desk. And it worked perfectly. It worked really beautifully. So I didn't have any issues with that. And in this tutorial, I did decide to go ahead and do the full deal. I showed you how to do my contour. I showed you how to do just pretty much everything I normally do. Just so you guys can see, I plan on doing some series later on, like how-to series on how to do, you know, cream contour, regular contour, how I do my eyeliner, how I do lashes and applying them. I want to do like a full series of all that kind of stuff, just so that, you know, you guys can go take a look at those videos if you'd like, and if you needed to find out how to do certain things, you can learn them from me. So I will be doing those in the near future, and I have so many video ideas. I have, you know, all these Halloween ones coming up that I have ideas for, so stay tuned for that. And if you're new here, I'd love it if you subscribe. I'd love to see you back. And if you like this video, make sure to smash that like button, guys. So let's get started on this look right here. Okay guys, to start out, I'm priming my face with the Bobbi Brown Vitamin Enriched Face Base. I think that's what it's called. And it's because my skin was dry, so I'm using that, and I'm putting it all over my face and letting it soak in while I do my eyes.
Next, I'm going in with a angled brush, and I'm just gonna fill in my eyebrows with this dip pot from Anastasia of Beverly Hills in the shade Auburn. And I went to the Benefit Brow Bar and got my brows done. Unfortunately, the lady flatlined my eyebrows, so they're completely flat. I had to kind of make my own arch and, you know, paint it on. Now I'm taking Scotch tape. You may have seen this technique before, or you may have not. I put it on the back of my hand and then peel it off so it's not so sticky. And you pretty much line it up with the arch of your eyebrow and sticking it with just a little bit of a gap away from your lower lash line so that you have just that little bit of gap. And yeah, that's how you line it up though. And this is going to be used to have like a very clean edge for this next thing that I do later on, I guess. Now I'm priming my eyelids with the MAC paint pot in soft ochre. You can just use your regular concealer to prime your eyelids as well. It pretty much works the same. That Scotch tape is really going to help for the darker color that I go in with later. And I'm going to use a black eyeliner pencil and I'll smudge that out and I'll show you guys. First, I'm dipping into the shade Morning and I'm putting it above my crease, really close to the eyebrow itself. And I'm buffing and sweeping that and bringing it pretty far down. And I'm just building up that color. Just with a really fluffy brush. Next, I'm dipping into Morgan. It's a peachy kind of color. This is probably my favorite color in the palette because it's just so pretty and the camera doesn't do it justice. I'm bringing that slightly underneath Morning and I'm sweeping that all over my lid. Well, later on I sweep it all over my lid, but I'm bringing it down and buffing it downwards. Now I'm going in with this creamy eyeliner pencil in the shade Ebony from MAC, and pretty much I'm using these really tiny strokes to go close to my lash line, and I'm gonna use that and smudge it out with a smudging brush. And I'm using the Scotch tape for my my marker, I guess, so that it's a perfectly straight line. So now you see me taking a smudger brush and I'm smudging that out so that it's just like kind of smoky and not a harsh line. I really like this technique for when I go in with a black eyeliner like that. Now you see me stabbing my eyeball. I hate tight lining, but you know, sometimes it must be done. So if you don't know what tight lining is, it's pretty much when you line your upper waterline of your eye. Now I'm going in with the shade Morgan again, and I'm packing that all over my lid. In the pretty much almost all of the lid. Now I'm using that same shader brush, or smudging brush, I'm sorry, from earlier that I used to smudge out that black, and I dipped into the shade Clove. It's the darkest shade in the palette, and I'm smudging that all over that black eyeliner, and I'm using it to pretty much smoke out that eyeliner even more. Now I'm going in with a fluffy brush and I'm using it just to like fluff out that color even more. There's nothing on that brush. I keep going back and forth between that and the other brush just to make sure like the line is how I want it. And I dip into Clove quite a bit. This is the only shade I kind of had a little bit of issues with because it takes a lot to build it up. So again, using that clean brush, well, it's not clean anymore, but it didn't have any extra product on it, and I'm making sure to blend out those edges. Now I'm dipping into the shade Citrine. I think this is like my second favorite color because I don't have anything like it. It looks like a really, no, it's not Citrine, sorry, Carnelian is what I dipped into. And this one, it looks kind of boring in the pan. It's like a light orange shade, but in real life it's so pretty, and I don't have anything that's that tone in my collection. And I'm pretty much using it to sweep it along the lash line and smoke out that Clove color even more. And I'm keeping this one mainly in the outer corner because Morgan is like the star of the show on my inner portion of my eyelid. Now I'm going in with another clean, kind of smaller, densely packed blending brush, and I'm dipping into the shade Glory, and I'm taking that on the outer corner of my eye, and I'm using that to further smoke out Clove and Carnelian. And I'm not even taking very much of that shade, I just really wanted more of a warm tone, so I'm using it to warm up that Clove shade. Then I went off camera and did the other eye. Now I'm mixing Citrine and Morning, and since I have hooded eyes, I'm flicking it up towards my brow bone just to create more shape to my eye. And I do this a lot. Don't be afraid to like take color all the way up to your brow bone as long as you're making a gradient of color and not like, you know, like a dark blue eyeshadow all up to your eyebrow, because that's not in anymore. Now I'm like fixing my eyebrows. That's all I'm doing right there. Now I'm peeling off the tape, and you can see like the straight line. It looks like I went in with a liquid liner and I didn't. Now I'm taking one of my makeup wipes and I'm going to clean up the bottom, and even though I'm going to put color on my lower lash line later on, I'm going to clean it up because when I go in with concealer, I don't want it to mix with it and make everything darker. So I want to make sure everything's cleaned up. Now I'm going in with the e.l.f. Jelly Pop primer, the Dew primer. This one is a really great drugstore dupe for the Cover FX Hydro Grip primer and the, or Cover FX, what is it, gripping primer, and the Milk Makeup Hydro Grip primer. It's only $8 and it works pretty much the same. Now I'm going in with this Milk Luminous Blur Stick, and normally I go in with a blurring primer just on the center of my face, but this one I took all over so I could have a little bit of luminosity, and I'm rubbing it in, and unfortunately I ended up really hating that primer. It messed everything up, so I will never use that again. And I'm just dabbing everything in with a beauty sponge. Now I'm going in with the new Pat McGrath foundation in shade Light 4. The packaging is stunning and bougie, and honestly it's a really nice formula, but you have to have like really clear skin to be able to rock this, and I don't think anybody with oily skin would like it because it's kind of an oily texture and it's very runny. So I think people leaning more towards dry skin will like it, and people that don't have many breakouts like I do, like I mean, my face is clearing up now. It's not as bad as it was, but yeah, this just did not work for me. It looks pretty, but it's just not what I like in a foundation. And I'm going, I don't really care for it. Now I'm going in with the Boing concealer in shade number 1 from Benefit. And the more I use this, the more I kind of do like the Tarte Shape Tape better. I think it just varies on what you like. If you're more oily, I feel like this would work much better for you. And I do like it, but I don't think I like it as much as the Tarte Shape Tape, because the Tarte Shape Tape is very hydrating and very full coverage. I don't know how to explain it unless you go test it yourself. Now I'm just blending all that out. You must be really careful underneath your eyes going against that line. You don't want to mess that line up. Okay, now I'm going over top of that with my Tarte Shape Tape. Now, I did that to fix everything because, quite honestly, it looked like a hot mess. My foundation was all messed up and stuff, so I had to fix it with my Tarte Shape Tape. After that, I went in with my cream contour to carve out my cheekbones. You can see I'm sucking in my cheeks so that I can see where my cheekbones are. I have a chubby round face, so this is like a must for me when I'm doing like glamorous makeup. This is the shade Light from Huda Beauty, their new Tantour product. And I'm taking it around my forehead because I have a giant forehead. And I'm taking it on my jawline and not underneath it because I want to carve out my jaw and make it look slimmer than it actually is. Excuse me. Been getting sick from allergies, so excuse my voice. Now I'm just kind of blending it on my neck. I blend it out more later. So now I'm taking this tiny little brush and I'm doing nose contour, and you can skip this if you're not comfortable with it, but this is how I do it. The closer the two lines are, the slimmer your nose is gonna look. I try to make it look as natural as possible. And I buff it into my brows, and that's how I make it the most natural looking. And what I love about this Tantour product from Huda Beauty is that it blends so easily. It's so emollient that it just like immediately blends out. There's not much effort to it, so you're not sitting there forever, even though it looks like I'm doing it forever. Really warms up your face, makes you look sculpted. It's just an overall good product. I haven't heard that many people talking about it, but as soon as I tried it, I was hooked. I think I'll continue to buy it over and over. Really, all you have to do is tap it into your skin and it starts blending in with your foundation really well. Now I'm dragging it down my neck, and I'm using like more of a patting and dragging motion so that it's very blended into my neck. And then for your nose, you're going to want to tap it in and drag it down the sides of your nose very gently. You want to do that very gently because you don't want to mess up like and take away foundation or concealer off your nose. But pretty much I went in with a tiny Morphe sponge that I remembered I had, and it was literally taking the foundation and concealer and all that off my skin, and I got so angry with it. It just like was messing things up. So I wasn't really happy with how my skin looked today. This isn't the best that I've ever seen it be with products, so I definitely don't like that Morphe sponge at all. Now I'm setting my under eyes with the Mercier translucent setting powder, and I'm packing it under my eyes to bake. And then I go in with the Becca, whatever it's called, the Aqua Hydro something powder, setting powder. I really don't know what it is, guys. I'll leave it in the comments down below. It's the one where it makes your skin feel wet. It's so weird. But I wanted to test it out because I hadn't tried it, and I got it in a BoxyCharm last month. But overall, I really liked it. I just use it to set my face. Now I'm going in with the Fenty bronzer in Shady Biz, and I'm using that to warm up the edges of my face, and I pretty much take it all over my cheeks like a blush would, but kind of blending it more and stuff. And then I'm taking it underneath my jawline, blending it down my neck, and then using it around the edges of my forehead to kind of sculpt my forehead and warm it up a little more. Now I'm going in with this angled brush, and I'm going into the Park Ave Princess palette by Tarte, and I'm going into Princess Cut as my contour color. And I'm pretty much going over the areas where I already contoured with the cream contour, just to give a little bit more definition to my face. Like I said, if you got a chubby round face like me, contour is a must, because this makes me feel so much better about myself when I contour. And I'm going in with a really tiny little eyeshadow brush, and I'm taking that contour color down my nose again, just because most of it got wiped away when that Morphe sponge like messed everything up. I took my powder brush with no extra powder on it, and I'm just smoothing over all the bronzer and contour just to, you know, make sure everything's smooth. This is my Tom Ford blush in the shade Wicked, and I'm just smiling and putting it on the apples of my cheeks, and I end up going back in later and putting a little bit more and taking it a little bit higher on my cheeks. Sometimes I'll do that. Sometimes I go really heavy on the blush. I really like blush. It just depends on what kind of look I'm going for. But I sweep it all the way back to my hairline. There's other techniques for doing blush, and you just kind of have to figure out what works for the shape of your face. I'm going back in with that same eyeliner from MAC, and I'm lining my waterline. I could not think of the word. I also went over my little beauty mark underneath my eye. Sometimes foundation always covers it. Sometimes like I will go in and kind of like darken it with an eyeliner, but I will go over it with a beauty blender just to kind of like make it look more natural, I guess. Then I dipped into the shade Glory, and I used that same smudging brush from earlier, and I'm smudging that all over my lower lash line, and I'm connecting it with the outer corner of what I already did earlier. Then I take a small little fluffy a brush, and I'm dipping into Morgan, and I'm using that to buff out that Glory color even more. And I'm sweeping off any fallout that there might be. Now I'm taking a really tiny flat shader brush, and I'm dipping into that orangey shade Carnelian, and I'm taking it on my inner corner, and I end up blending it up to make it blend into that Morgan color all over my lid. And I took a clean brush to fluff it out a little more so it blends in, and it's not just this dot of orange. Then I dip back into Glory, and I blend it into that Carnelian color. That's a mouthful right there, guys. And then another fluffy brush with nothing on it, and I just blended it out some more. And here's where I take some more blush and blend it a little higher up on my cheeks. And then I go in with mascara, the I go in with the Big Ego one from Tarte, and then I put on some lashes. I'll have to comment those down below. And then I went in with the Benefit Cookie Highlight on the tops of my cheekbones, the bridge of my nose, a little bit above my eyebrows, some on my Cupid's bow, or a lot on my Cupid's bow. That's about it, guys.
Guys, so my camera battery decided to die, and this is the finished look. Last I left off, I was doing my lips, and I put on this liquid lipstick from Jeffree Star in the shade Family Jewels. And then I lined my lips with the Charlotte Tilbury lip pencil in Pillow Talk. And I put a little bit of Stripped from Anastasia Beverly Hills right in the center, just to lighten it a little bit. And this is how it turned out. I also popped on some falsies and put mascara on. The falsies I'm wearing, I'll have to put them down in the description box because I forgot to put them back in the box and I don't know which ones they are, so I'm gonna have to figure out which ones they are. So I actually put in extensions today, and these are from Bellamy, and these are the 22-inch ones, so they're really long, but they're a lot longer than this when they're not curled. Honestly, I don't think they look very good when they're straight, just with my hair cut. I don't think they blend very well, but when they're curled, they look really pretty. I actually bought these for my wedding last October, so this is only like the third time of me wearing these extensions, but they're really pretty, easy to clip in, make your hair really long and voluminous. Overall, guys, I really love this palette. This is my second time using it. It's the Natasha Denona Sunrise palette. And that's what it looks like. Loved it, and I will say I did not like this at all. This Milk Luminous Blur Stick, this is the first time I've used it. It's been in my makeup collection for a little bit. Just complete dumpster. Absolute dumpster. And also the Pat McGrath foundation. I will say that one, if you have dry skin, which I have combo leaning dry skin, it will work for you if you have drier skin, but you have to have like flawless skin. I had to go in with a ton of concealer and it was just not what I like in a foundation. So that will be going back to the store because it's $68, and yeah, I'm not just gonna throw out something that's $68. I'm gonna go exchange it for something else. So yeah, guys, and also I will say, since I used that primer stick, my concealer broke apart and it got really gross under my eyes, so I did have to go in with my Tarte Shape Tape, and I use this on most of my face to save the day, because between that foundation and that blur stick, I don't know which one did it, but the consistency of it, just, it looked weird. It was peeling off my skin, and this is what saved my life. So I'm really glad about this. Also, I tried to blend out my nose contour with this mini sponge from the Jeffree Star and Morphe collab, and I've stated before in my previous videos, I don't like the Morphe sponges, and I remember why now, because it doesn't matter if I get it wet and then I completely dry it with like a towel or a paper towel or anything, it lifts my foundation off my face and leaves bald patches. So I hate this. This dumpster, like completely dumpster. It's going in the trash. I will never use those Morphe sponges again. They're terrible, in my opinion. So, other than that, guys, this is how it turned out. I kept the eye like completely matte, which is not like me. Like, I normally do a lot of shimmers. So I really like the way it turned out. If you guys like this look, make sure to smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already, because I'd love to have you back. And let me know if you guys have tried this before, or if you've tried any of the Natasha Denona palettes, and what do you think about them? Are they worth the money? Honestly, I'm kind of in the middle right now. I don't know if it's worth that much money, because I've seen really good quality be a lot less, but you guys let me know. I did enjoy it though. Alright, bye guys, thanks for joining me.